Do not move to Vietnam in 2026. We all know about the YouTubers who just talked about the kicked back beach lifestyle with a cocktail in your hand and a coffee every morning for dirt cheap. That's not actually how your everyday life is going to be. No one talks about the true cons and the true things you need to know. And if you're not prepared or even aware of the negative side, when you come here, you could get a whole different trip than what you're expecting, and it will only leave you complaining and not enjoying life. And you will have the wrong perception of how amazing Vietnam really is. Number one has to be, it's not dirt cheap. For some reason, we all automatically just think, oh my God, Vietnam is so dirt cheap, I can just go there and spend money without looking. No, you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional with what you're spending money on. You have to have a monthly budget and a daily budget, and make sure you stay to it and report your numbers and look at your monthly stat sheet. And you can't just come here expecting to just, hey, I'm just going to throw money out like it's nothing. No. If you're getting American food, if you're getting Grab cars instead of motorbikes everywhere, if you're going out to drink every single night, all this can add up. You have to be intentional with what you're spending, or else you can definitely overspend. And a lot of foreigners come here and they go home broke because they decided to just party all night, all day, every day. I came here to build a life and live, not to have a permanent vacation. Which leads me to warning number 2. Vietnam is not a permanent vacation. Now, some of y'all are going to come here and leave, but for those of y'all that plan to live out here long term, 3 months, 6 months, a year, longer than that, it's not a permanent vacation. You have to learn how to live. You have to adapt to the culture, build a schedule, learn your landlord, learn the gym, learn the community, find a hospital, find a salon or a barber shop, find the markets that you can go to. Do all these things. You have to build a schedule. A lot of y'all think you're just going to come here and be kicked up on the beach every day with your foot up with a cocktail or a beer or a coffee in your hand for 75 cents, and now you're just going to do this every day and live the rest of your... No. And my life here is way more enjoyable than it was where I'm from, but it's not a permanent vacation. You have to build a routine. Number 3 is adapting to the culture, right? The culture here can be quite overwhelming, from the traffic to the socializing groups to everything. Don't come here if you're not ready to adapt. And I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of foreigners come here for the culture and then they don't adapt to the culture, so they ruined the culture that they came here for. There's nothing worse than just that expat that goes to a cafe, sits there for 4 hours with the same drink and doesn't talk to a single soul and just works. Because when you have a cafe full of 20 people doing that, it's no longer a cafe. It feels like a co-working space. It's no longer a cafe. It turns into a co-working space. I didn't come to Vietnam to go to co-working spaces. I came to Vietnam to enjoy the cafe culture, the culture of just going to English clubs at cafes and meeting new people and having fun and doing all of this. So don't come here if you won't get adapted to the culture. I mean everything from socializing, cafes, food, all of it. Number 4 is going to be a bit of a pro, but also a con. It's the slower pace of life. Not everything here is a rush. Just because traffic is chaotic doesn't mean life's a rush here. Now, what do I mean with that? We all know about the good part of this slow pace of life. Like, oh, life's not disappearing before your eyes, and you wake up one day 18, next day you're 65. But there's also a bad side to it, right? Here, not everyone's going to rush. So if you have bad timing and bad planning skills, just because you're in an emergency doesn't mean someone else is going to rush to solve your needs. If something takes a certain amount of time to make, that's how long it's going to take. I'm just saying, you can't go somewhere and expect to rush them and for them to care. They don't. They treat all customers the same. First come, first serve. That's how they do here. If you think you're more important than everybody else, Vietnam is not the place for you. Everyone here has a sense of unity. We all have a sense of equality. Number 5 is going to be the noise and pollution and traffic, etc., right? Everything here is overwhelming from all 3 of those. I mean, as I'm recording this video, there's a dog barking outside. If you have a job where you have to talk to people online, or you like to sleep in and do stuff. Like sleeping in here for me is easy, but if you're a very light sleeper and you wake up to noise pretty easily, there's a lot of construction, there's a lot of dogs, you hear a lot of the families outside talking, you hear all this stuff, and it's a lot of noise. It's not loud, but it's a lot. That's one thing. If you're not expecting it, or you really just don't want noise at all, maybe you have to take a second look before deciding to come to Vietnam, because the noise, the pollution, and the traffic are just things you can't avoid. From the traffic, don't even get me started on crossing the pedestrian walk. It's like playing the game Crossy Road. You ever played it? The cars and motorbikes, they don't stop. There's 20 motorbikes for every car, probably 30 motorbikes for every car, and they go around you. There's no such thing as pressing a button and then crossing the road after the time. No, you just walk and the motorbikes will go around you. And if you're not used to that and you don't even try to get the hang of it, you're going to be standing at sidewalks for hours just waiting to cross the road when really you could have went, within the first 5 seconds. And that takes me to warning number 6. Stop thinking everything has to be convenient. Everything is not going to be in English. Everything's not going to be fast. You're going to have some patience. Don't be the foreigner that just comes here and gets mad at people for not knowing what you're saying. You're in a new country. Don't forget that. You're in someone else's country with someone else's language, with someone else's culture. You have to get used to it. You don't have to learn Vietnamese fluently, but learn how to address people. Like, stop thinking you can just go up to everyone, talk English, and they'll understand what you're saying and get it to you as fast as possible. No. Sometimes you're going to have to sit there with 2-3 minutes with a translator. Sometimes you're going to have to, call a friend that speaks Vietnamese and English. Sometimes you're going to have to wait a little bit while they figure out what you're trying to do. It's not going to be all easy and convenient. But in my opinion, that's what's so beautiful about it, is it forces you to learn patience. It forces you to slow down and then just enjoy every hour of every day. 6th reason you shouldn't come to Vietnam is there are going to be a lot of people that are very pushy. There are going to be a lot of scammers, a lot of street vendors, a lot of sellers that are just trying to sell you stuff, overcharge you for stuff. You have to learn how to say no. And they do it to everyone, even the locals, but most of the time they target foreigners. They do it to locals sometimes, but 80% of their targets are foreigners because they know maybe they're new, we don't know what we're doing, we'll overpay for stuff. So you have to learn to scope them out. Number 7 is going to be, you can't run away from your problems out here. You can't run away from your problems out here in Vietnam. There's this saying, right? Wherever you go, there you are. And you got to really take that in deep. Wherever you go, there you are. So if you're struggling in your home country, you're going to be struggling somewhere else, because it's not just about money. It's about your attitude. It's about your posture. It's about your lifestyle. It's about your choices. It's about all of this stuff. It's about your outlook, your mentality. It's about your physicality. It's about your health. Wherever you go, there you are. Don't think just going to a cheaper country is going to make your life better. A lot of people like to think, I'm going to go to Vietnam and it's cheaper and the food's healthier, so I'm going to save money and lose weight. No, you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional about not overspending, and you have to be intentional about eating healthier foods. Wherever you go, there you are. If you eat like a fat person at home, you're going to eat like a fat person here. If you spend money like you're rich at home, you're going to spend money like you're rich here. It doesn't matter. It's about your behavior, your characteristics. Your behaviors and characteristics go with you everywhere. So like I said, wherever you go, there you are. You can't move just to escape your problems. And the last and final reason you should not move to Vietnam in 2026 is because once you move here, you won't want to leave. That's the last reason. Once you move here to Vietnam, you're not going to want to leave. For me, it has been so great, so amazing, such a wonderful experience. People are way nicer than people back where I'm from. Food here is just excellent. Even healthy food is excellent here. The social culture here is amazing. You can go on Facebook and find an English club every day of the week. You can find whatever you're looking for, So that's 8th reason, is because once you come here, you're never going to want to leave. I literally just met a guy yesterday at an English club who said he came here just for his border run for Thailand, because he was in Thailand and he had to leave the country to do a visa run. So he came to Vietnam. He was going to be here for 2-3 weeks, and then he said he said he just chose not to leave, and he's been here for almost a year. He only originally came here for 2-3 weeks, and he said, I'm not leaving. He's been here for almost a year. So that's just the thing. You're gonna come here thinking, I'm gonna take a little vacation, and once you go back home, or even you might make the decision to stay while you're here. So if you come to Vietnam, be prepared, because you're not going to want to leave. And if you do, you're more than likely going to want to come back. So those were the 8 reasons you shouldn't move to Vietnam in 2026. Let me know what your experience has been. Let me know what you're looking forward to. And let me know something that you want to know more answers about. You know, you can ask me whatever, and I got you. Also, if you're planning on moving out here, go down to the link. There's one-on-one consultations. I do 30 minutes and 60 minutes, depending on how much questions you got. I'll answer everything. I'll help you with your visa. If you're American, I can help you with your passport, and I can help you with your ticket, the best time of season to come. I can help you find landlords. I'll do all this stuff for you and just answer any questions you've got. Also, you can join my channel membership. It will support me if you did. I offer a lot of perks for each different tier, but the main thing is you being a part of this community. Make sure you hit the like button, because if you hit the like button, a plane will appear when you do. So thank you for supporting me. My name's Nell, and remember, no matter what happens, as long as you're alive, life goes on.